3, 2, 1.
It is recording. Okay, so today we're gonna draw a toad, and it's pretty easy. So get your pencil. We have my student here. Okay, just get your pencil, and basically you want to draw an oval. Let's start with an oval. Draw really lightly. Okay, just draw an oval. If you don't, you want to draw really lightly. So if you don't make it perfect, you could always erase it. So use the 2B pencil. Okay, so make sure you use the side of the pencil. If you're using the point of the pencil, it's going to be really hard to erase, and you might cut into the paper. So when you start coloring, you'll see those little lines, and you don't want that. So go as soft as you can. So these are guidelines. So you want to go at an angle here. So, and then next we're going to have another shape here. So we have the top of the head, and then we have this. This is the face. It's kind of like a rounded off square at the bottom. And then I'm going to do a little bit darker, but you guys do it lighter, okay? I'm doing it darker so you can see. Go as light as possible, so light that only you can see. It's only for you to see, because we're gonna erase these lines later. Okay, and then put a little round top over here, as light as possible. Okay, so keep these corners a little bit rounded right there. Okay, so we have this basic shape. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of trace. So basically you have this shape, all right, and then you have here, and then here. Okay, now we're gonna add the details on his head, or whatever that thing is, the top of the mushroom. We're gonna add a circle here, semicircle here. Try to make them as symmetrical as you can, so these two sides will be the same. Okay, and then this is a circle. It's not a full circle. Look, it's gonna be like kind of cut off at the top, kind of like a enclosed U. So not like it is still a circle, but because it's from this angle, you can't fully see the full circle. Okay, and then let's give 2 lines for the eye here and eye here. Okay, kind of in that right there. So if maybe some of you guys want to watch this whole video before you even draw. So right now, the next part, this part is the point of no return. So if you make a mistake in this next part here, you have to you'll have to start over again. So I am going to use, you could either use a 0.6, 0.8. You want to go a little bit thicker, not too thin of a pen. Here, I'll go here. You go we'll go 0.5 and 0.6 here. Okay, now we're gonna have to be very careful here, because we're gonna start adding the black lines. Okay, so follow the lines that I do. So right now, I'm gonna put this circle. I'm gonna draw the head, the top of the head. Okay. So if you feel like, oh, that angle's weird, you could rotate your paper, so you could get a better angle with your wrists. Okay. So get really relaxed, and then let's put the details on the head here. here. There we go. And now here. Eyes. Now here the eyes, you kind of just want to do this shape. You don't want to just, it's like a long rounded rectangle, a really thin rounded rectangle. Okay, and then the mouth. There. And we're done. I'm not sure if this is the hard part, but I would, so maybe some of you guys want to keep a little bit, this line's not fully straight, a little bit curved, but it's okay. And then a little curve on the tongue. There we go. Okay, now you want this paper to be dried now. Kind of shake it off so it's dry, because the next part we're going to do is we're going to erase the pencil marks. And make sure you're using the right pen and the right paper. Otherwise, this black will smear, and that's not going to look nice. So I'm going to start gently. So if you did the lines right, look, you can easily erase all the pencil marks. You erase all the pencil marks. If you find that you have to erase really hard, that means you've been drawing way too hard. Okay. Okay, so erase that. And make sure you don't have any of that the eraser debris under your paper, because when you're coloring and you have that under your paper, it'll create these little bumps or unwanted details. So make sure you don't get that stuff under your paper. So make sure now your table's cleaned off. And now the next part, we're going to start coloring. Oh, I had two pieces of paper under. Okay. So now we're gonna start coloring in. You can grab a red here. Here's a red for you. They're quite similar. So before we even color, we want to have a piece of paper. Let's get a piece of paper and test out the color. So I'm gonna, you want to make sure that this is the color you want. Okay, one's a little bit darker, but you know what? It looks pretty similar. And what's great about coloring with pencil crayons, you can use the control your pressure as to if you want darker or lighter. So we're gonna start with a very light layer of red on these little circles here at the top of the head. So once again, color at an angle, okay? So you want to just gently color. Just add a nice layer, very thin layer, like you want to be very gentle. You know, I think my red's a little bit too dark. I'm gonna go with the lighter red. So a nice thin layer on all the circles here. Just a very, very, very thin layer. You know, mine could be a little bit too dark right now. So if you want to have it controlled, color at an angle. Okay, that's great. So what another next part is we look we have the shadows. So not the whole thing's not going to look like the same color on each side. We want one side a little bit darker, just like if you look at my hand, one side's lighter over here and one side's darker. So same with here, we want to see, because the light is coming from above, from up here, coming down here. We want the light to maybe, for this one, let's have the light come this way, okay? All right, so pretend there's like a line coming down here, and then this side will be darker and this side will be lighter, okay? So when we color, we kind of want, so let's have this side a little bit darker than the other side. Of course, the top will be darker than the bottom. So let's have a little bit, let's have it darker on this side. And even here. So this circle, let's have it darker over here. Let's have it darker over here. And even darker down here. So you want it to a little bit, pretend there's kind of like a, and we'll do the same with the face too. So let's have start with a very light skin tone color, and then we're just gonna go gonna go here. Okay, there. So you could have this color if you want. First of all, I did the whole thing like kind of the same color. And I'm going to add my shadow in later, because the shadows aren't that complicated. So I'm going to take this darker skin tone. I'm going to add, so pretend I think there's going to be like some shadow up here. So this is a darker skin tone, and now I'm adding the shadow. So here's the lines. I'm adding the shadow here. There, you can tell the shadow's like a little bit of shadow right here and right here. Oh, this dark red, I'm going to add more shadow. I'm going to have the tongue like a dark red too, so I'm going to put a very dark red for the tongue. There we go. I'm going to color this in with my black marker. Okay, so here, oh yeah, so we color the tongue later. Look at the eye. I'm gonna put a half mark in between right here. Okay, and then I'm gonna draw a circle right there. And I'm gonna color the rest of the eye. Okay, make sure it's that looks okay too. Here, bring it over here. That's kind of, if it's squared off. Mine was kind of rounded off, but it's okay. Both is all right. Okay, now you color the tongue dark red. There, you bring it so everyone can see. And then the last part, because now we want this to look like it's wrapping around his head. So there's actually a light gray right here. If you look carefully, I'm going to put a very light gray around his head, like that. Add a little gray right here. There. You can't really notice it. It's like a subtle gray. Just to make his, I'm not even sure if this is a hat, but his mushroom head look more 3D. Make it pop out more. There. I think we're about done. And if you're gonna only use pencil crayon, this is how I would do it. So you can use that little gray ring there. Make sure you use it at an angle. And there you go. If you want later, you could add, like, you know, put more pressure and make your red even redder if you want. But for now, this is the basic, all the basic coloring is there and the basic shape. So you could always touch it up, add more color, make it more saturated. And that's about it. Okay, good job. Okay, I want to see what your toad looks like. And if you don't get it the first time, it's okay. Keep practicing. All right, bye. See you in the next video.